These four implications are the logical results of Marquis' flow account being true. So if Marquis' flow account of the wrongness of killing is true, then the first implication is that alien species could be members of the moral community. So though this sounds odd at first glance or first sound, we're familiar with it from Marianne Warren's essay. This idea that the human species may not be the only species that could be a member of the moral community. And the idea here is that there could be alien species that have a future like ours, who have a future ahead of them that will contain valuable experiences, projects, etc. So his argument is similar to Marianne Warren's argument in that respect. For Marianne Warren, an alien could be a person, and for Don Marquis, an alien could have a flow. So that's the first logical implication. The second logical implication is related. It is still going along with this idea that other species could have a future like ours, but now the example is specifying other animal species. So there might be other animals on our planet that have a flow and are therefore members of the moral community. Perhaps chimpanzees, dolphins, or elephants have a future like ours, who have experiences and projects that being, that animal, finds valuable themselves. They value their future, or their future holds value for them. So that possibility is left open. And again, that for some of you may be a positive aspect of Marquis' argument, that other animal species are able to be members of the moral community because they have a flow. The third implication is in regards to the practice of euthanasia. And Don Marquis points out that if his flow account is true, then euthanasia in some cases may be morally permissible. The idea here is that not everybody's future holds value for them. We're familiar with this idea, having covered this issue of euthanasia and physician-assisted suicide. But if someone has a terminal illness and they are suffering physical or emotional, mental pain and anguish, then that person's, that being's, that human's future may not hold true value or any real value any longer. And so if that human being, that genetic human being, does not have a flow any longer, then it could be permissible to kill that human being. Marquis recognizes that there's growing support for euthanasia, both passive and active euthanasia. And so this is a logical implication of his account of the wrongness of killing that many of you may find agreeable. Finally, if Don Marquis' flow account is true, then infanticide is clearly morally wrong. Okay, infants also have a future like ours, and therefore killing an infant is clearly morally wrong. Marquis is just trying to point out that the wrongness of infanticide flows very easily from his flow account of the wrongness of killing. All of these implications and these considerations, Marquis believes, provide support for his flow account.